hope against all hope. The hope of glory is our lead, is our guide. Faith, the ability to manifest, the magic, yes. Is it there? Is it there? I also wrote down for the Christian, this is for the Christian. Is there a balm in Gilead? Ha! Then I go on to say, let me see if I can read it. You know, Renee bought me a tablet, y'all, but I have to get accustomed to using it, so I'm still using the legal pad. The path that you are on, whatever your title is, the path that you are on, that you have been called to by unction or ordination, yes, this path, it is loaded with blessedness. Let me just stop there for a moment. Has anybody noticed when you go beyond yourself and help someone else, how much of a blessing that is to yourself? I'm not even getting into the physical, actual work that you do. But when you just a little bit to go out of your way, even if it's just to say a hello or good morning or how was your day? The path that you're on is loaded with blessedness and benefits. But also this path has necessary and required speed markers. This path has school zones. This path has warnings of curves and obstacles and hills up ahead. You are absolutely, especially the light worker, whatever title you go under, you are on the road the least traveled. And yet it's full of signs, all type of signs. You're striving for the mastery, right? You want your work to be excellent, right? You want the comers to return, right? I've got down, not only is it less travel, but it's not according to what society says is the normal. But yet you move further. All seeking the mastery. You, me, us, we all are under orders. Now let me stop right there. Here's a sidebar. I know this is free market. I know what we're in and what we do is free market. You know, and we're pretty much self-governed. We're not under a guild, Renee. I want you to look that up. Guild. We're not under an association. But who knows, that time may or may not come. But I have down here the work that is necessary for the world. This world that I speak of in the 3D has billions of people. Well, Charles, where are you going? This is where I'm going. Why are we competing? What's the competition for? Why? No one person is going to meet everybody's needs. Everyone has a part to play. What are we competing for? Can I say it again, Renee? Billions of people in the world. But I speak English, so what? You ever heard of translation? Billions of people. What are we competing over our territory for? Is it yours? As I said, we're all under orders. Let me move a little bit further. I know y'all probably not even going to look at me anymore. Y'all going to see Hype Central. You ain't coming back. I write down here, immediately after that, I've got now, whose orders are you under? That's yet to be determined, yet to be made known. But in the end, I've got here in regular penmanship, what do you call it when you write in printing, penmanship, it shall be known. Talk about me later. Maybe that's why I had to talk about protection first, Renee. Some of us, we've got the title of light worker. Is that why I talked about the snake in the grass too? You know how to... 38 years, another generation is closing up. Some people have been moved off the scene, out of the way, because there's something happening here. What's that song? And it's not apparently clear or quite clear or however it goes. Another generation is going on. But God's elect, God's chosen, God's appointed, God assigned. That time is coming. The showdown is coming. The showdown is coming. I wrote down here Mount Carmel. Anybody read the story about the showdown? I call it the showdown on Mount Carmel. It's in 1 Kings, the 18th chapter. 1 Kings, the 18th chapter, where, you know, the prophets of Baal, they pretty much was doing a battle with Elijah. Elijah let them go forth, and you know they got the sacrifice together, laid it on the altar. They did all kind of things, waiting for their God to respond. And then Elijah came. You know, he got an order to the busted up. You know, because by then they had busted up the altar and everything by dancing on it, and you know, cutting themselves with lances and all kind of stuff. Then Elijah came along and he said, well, he says, look, he says, you know, we're going to repair this altar. And I want y'all to get 4 barrels of water. And I want you to do it again. And I want you to do it again. I want you to cut up the sacrifice and lay it down properly now. And then he said, get 12 stones. Because he wanted to recognize, I'm messing now. Because look, somebody laid the foundation before us. Our ancestors, they went before. They were unselfish in reaching out to their God. And they called out on behalf of us today. And he was recognizing, I just used that word recently, but he was recognizing the 12 tribes of Israel, or Jacob more specifically, whose name was changed to Israel. He said, lay out the stones. He said, put the water out. He said, lay the wood out. He said, even put water in the trench. And pretty much he said, look, Lord God, I'm hearing your name. And these people want to know if you're there or not. So, you know, while he yet spake, fire from heaven came down, consumed the sacrifice, consumed the wood, sipped up the water, and it even lapped up what was in the trench. And the people knew. They cried, the Lord, he is the God. He is the God. Then I have these words again. Power, Lord, power, Lord. Need more power, Lord. Need more power, Lord. I need more power, Lord. I jest. But just this morning, this is how I woke up. I have written down final dream. I stood in the middle of a yard, because we're not in a house, in a yard. And as I looked up, a truck pulled up, Renee. She don't know y'all, so I can talk to her too. A truck pulled up. And here's the funny part. I'll tell you, I think God has a sense of humor. The truck, y'all know when there's tragedies, especially in Florida. Florida always issuing something, like I said. You know, you can't keep taking. There's going to be a consequence of some form. I'm not saying Florida's that, but I'm also not saying it's not. Always experience some sort of